Have you ever felt like you're meant for something more? Like there's a hidden path just waiting for you to discover it? Well, you might be right. There's a powerful idea called the mirror principle, and it's not what you think. This principle isn't just another self-help trick. It's a game changer that can completely turn your life around. But here's the catch. It's not about doing more or trying harder. It's about becoming a different person on the inside. Sounds simple, right? But trust me, it's the key to unlocking a whole new world of possibilities. Now, here's the deal. If you don't change on the inside, nothing on the outside will budge. It's like trying to open a locked door with the wrong key. No matter how hard you push, it just won't open. Many of us keep jumping from one thing to another, thinking the problem is out there. We try new jobs, new relationships, new diets, but nothing seems to stick. Why? Because we're missing the most important piece of the puzzle, ourselves. Imagine you want to become a millionaire. You might think it's all about finding the right business idea or making smart investments. But the truth is, you need to become a millionaire in your mind first. If you don't believe you're capable of making money, if you don't see yourself as someone who deserves wealth, guess what? The world will keep showing you proof that you're right. You'll keep struggling, no matter how many opportunities come your way. This is where the mirror principle comes in. It says that the world around us is like a giant mirror, reflecting back what we believe about ourselves and the world. If we believe we're not good enough, the mirror shows us situations where we fall short. If we think the world is against us, we keep running into obstacles. It's not because the world is out to get us. It's because we're projecting our beliefs onto it, and it's faithfully showing us what we expect to see. But here's the good news. If we can change what we're projecting, we can change what the mirror shows us. And that's where the real magic happens. So, what exactly is this mirror principle, and how can it help you? At its core, the mirror principle is about understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. It's like you're carrying around a projector, constantly beaming your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations onto the screen of life. And life, being the perfect mirror it is, reflects it all back to you. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't want all this stuff in my life. I didn't choose it. And you're right, at least, your conscious mind didn't choose it. But our subconscious minds are powerful things. They're shaped by our past experiences, the things we've been told, the conclusions we've drawn about life. And they're running the show more often than we realize. The mirror principle says that if we want to change what we see in the mirror of life, we need to change what we're projecting. It's not about forcing the world to be different. It's about becoming different ourselves. And when we do that, the world naturally changes to match our new inner reality. In this video, we're going to dive deep into 7 signs that show you're ready for this kind of change. These are signs that you might be what some call a chosen one, someone who's meant to walk a path of growth and transformation. We'll explore each sign, what it means, and how you can use it as a launching pad for positive change in your life. But before we get into that, I want to share something important. This isn't about becoming a completely different person overnight. It's not about rejecting who you are now. Instead, it's about peeling back the layers, uncovering the amazing person you've always been underneath all the doubt and fear. It's about aligning your outer world with your true inner self. As we go through these signs, remember, change isn't always comfortable. In fact, it rarely is. But on the other side of that discomfort is growth, freedom, and a life that feels truly yours. So if you're ready to take a good, honest look in the mirror and make some changes, let's dive in. Throughout this video, I'll be sharing practical tips and exercises you can use to start applying the mirror principle in your own life. These aren't just theories. They're tools you can use to start reshaping your reality right away. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's explore the first of our 7 signs that chosen ones must change. Have you ever felt like you just don't fit in, no matter how hard you try? Like you're a puzzle piece that doesn't quite match the picture everyone else is putting together? If so, you're not alone, and more importantly, it might be a sign that you're ready for a big change. This feeling of being out of place isn't just about being different. It's deeper than that. It's a sense that you're meant for something more, something different from what you see around you. Maybe you find yourself questioning things that everyone else seems to accept without a second thought. Or perhaps you have dreams and ideas that others just don't seem to understand. Now, here's where the mirror principle comes in. Remember, the world around us reflects our inner beliefs and expectations. So if you're constantly feeling out of place, it might be because deep down, you believe that you don't belong. Maybe you picked up this belief as a kid, or maybe it's something you've learned over time. But whatever the source, this belief is shaping your experiences. The good news is, you can change this. Instead of seeing your difference as a problem, try seeing it as a strength. Maybe you don't fit in because you're not meant to. You're meant to stand out. You're meant to bring something new and unique to the world. Here's a practical exercise you can try. For the next week, every time you notice yourself feeling out of place, stop and take a deep breath. Then, instead of thinking, I don't belong here, try thinking, I'm here to bring something new. See how this small shift in perspective changes how you feel and how others respond to you. Remember, the world needs people who think differently, who see things from new angles. By embracing your uniqueness instead of trying to hide it, you're not only changing your own experience, you're giving others permission to be themselves too. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop, facing the same problems or situations over and over again? Maybe it's always ending up in the same kind of relationship, or repeatedly finding yourself in jobs that don't fulfill you. If this sounds familiar, it's a clear sign that it's time for a change, and it's a perfect example of the mirror principle in action. These recurring patterns aren't just bad luck or coincidence. They're reflections of something inside us, usually beliefs or expectations we're not even aware we have. It's like we're unconsciously setting up the same scene over and over, hoping for a different outcome. For example, let's say you keep ending up in relationships where you feel unappreciated. On the surface, it might seem like you're just choosing the wrong partners. But if we look deeper, we might find a belief like, I'm not worthy of love, or I have to earn affection. With this belief in place, you're unknowingly attracting people who reinforce it, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. The mirror principle tells us that to break these patterns, we need to change what we're projecting. It's not about blaming ourselves or beating ourselves up. It's about recognizing that we have the power to change the script. Here's an exercise to help you start breaking these patterns. Take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, write down a pattern you've noticed in your life. On the other side, write down what this pattern might be reflecting about your beliefs or expectations. Be honest with yourself. Remember, this is a judgment-free zone. Once you've identified the belief, it's time to start changing it. Create a new statement that reflects what you want to believe instead. For example, if your old belief was, I'm not worthy of love, your new belief might be, I am deserving of love and respect. Now, here's the crucial part. You need to start acting as if this new belief is true, even if you don't fully believe it yet. Remember, the mirror of life doesn't reflect what you consciously think. It reflects what you truly believe and expect. So by acting on this new belief, you're sending a new signal to the mirror. This might feel uncomfortable at first. You might even feel like you're faking it, but stick with it. The more you act on this new belief, the more evidence you'll start to see that supports it. It's like you're reprogramming your inner projector, and gradually, the image in the mirror will start to change. If you've been experiencing unusually intense emotions lately, whether it's bursts of joy, waves of sadness, or flashes of anger, pay attention. These strong feelings aren't just mood swings. They're often a sign that big changes are brewing inside you. Think of these emotions like the rumbling before a volcano erupts. They're a sign that something powerful is stirring beneath the surface. In terms of the mirror principle, these intense emotions are often reflections of inner conflicts or growth that's trying to happen. For example, you might find yourself getting unusually angry at small inconveniences. On the surface, it might seem like you're just being irritable. But if we look deeper, this anger might be a reflection of a part of you that's tired of settling for less than you deserve. It's like your inner self is saying, enough is enough. Or maybe you're experiencing moments of unexpected joy or excitement. This could be your inner self recognizing opportunities for growth and change, even if your conscious mind hasn't caught up yet. The key here is not to judge these emotions or try to push them away. Instead, See them as messages from your inner self. They're like signposts, pointing you towards areas of your life that need attention and change. Here's a practical way to work with these intense emotions. Start keeping an emotion journal. Each day, take a few minutes to write down any strong emotions you experienced. Don't just name the emotion. Describe how it felt in your body, what triggered it, and any thoughts that came with it. After a week or two, look back over your journal. Do you see any patterns? Are there certain situations or thoughts that consistently trigger strong emotions? This can give you valuable clues about what aspects of your life or beliefs might need changing. Now, here's where we bring in the mirror principle. Remember, the outer world reflects our inner state. So if you're experiencing a lot of intense emotions, it's likely that your outer world feels pretty chaotic too. You might find yourself in more conflicts or experiencing more ups and downs in your relationships or work. The good news is, by working with these emotions instead of against them, you can start to bring more balance to your inner world, and as a result, to your outer world too. It's like smoothing out the surface of a lake. As the water becomes calmer, the reflection becomes clearer. Try this. Next time you feel a strong emotion coming on, instead of reacting immediately, take a deep breath. Acknowledge the emotion without judging it. Say to yourself, I'm feeling angry/sad/excited right now, and that's okay. Then, ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? What change is it pointing me towards? By doing this, you're not just managing your emotions. You're using them as tools for growth and transformation. You're tuning in to the wisdom of your inner self and using that wisdom to reshape your reality. Remember, these intense emotions aren't something to fear or avoid. They're signs that you're alive, that you're growing, that you're ready for change. By learning to work with them, you're not just changing your emotional state, you're changing the very fabric of your reality. As we continue to explore the remaining signs, keep in mind that all of these are interconnected. They're different facets of the same process, the process of aligning your outer world with your true inner self. By paying attention to these signs and working with them, you're not just changing yourself, you're changing your entire world. Have you ever experienced a moment where everything seemed to align perfectly? Maybe you were thinking about someone, and they suddenly called. Or perhaps you kept seeing the same number everywhere you looked. These aren't just random occurrences. They're what we call synchronicities, and they're a powerful sign that you're ready for change. Synchronicities are like little winks from the universe, telling you that you're on the right track. In terms of the mirror principle, they're reflections of your inner alignment. When your thoughts, beliefs, and actions start to line up with your true self, the outer world starts to mirror this harmony back to you. But here's the thing, synchronicities aren't just happening to you, they're happening through you. Your inner state is creating a ripple effect in the world around you, bringing people, events, and opportunities into your life that match your energy. For example, let's say you've been thinking about starting a new creative project. Suddenly, you might find yourself running into people who have skills you need, or stumbling upon resources that are exactly what you were looking for. It's not that these things weren't there before. It's that you weren't tuned in to notice them. So how can you work with synchronicities to create positive change in your life? Start by paying attention. Keep a synchronicity journal. Each day, write down any meaningful coincidences or chance encounters you experience. Look for patterns. Are there certain themes or symbols that keep showing up? Here's a practical exercise. For the next week, set an intention each morning. It could be something like, I'm open to new opportunities, or I'm attracting positive people into my life. Then, throughout the day, stay alert for anything that seems to align with your intention. You might be surprised at what you notice. Remember, the goal isn't to force synchronicities to happen. It's about opening yourself up to the flow of life, trusting that the right things will come at the right time. As you do this, you're not just noticing the magic in your life, you're actively participating in creating it. Have you been getting strong gut feelings lately? Maybe you just know things without knowing how you know them. Or perhaps you're having vivid dreams that seem to be trying to tell you something. If so, you're experiencing another important sign of change, increased intuition. Intuition is like our inner compass, guiding us towards what's right for us. It's a deeper kind of knowing that goes beyond logic or reason. And when it starts to get stronger, it's often a sign that we're ready to trust ourselves more, to step into our power and make big changes in our lives. In the context of the mirror principle, increased intuition is about tuning into the deeper currents of our inner world. It's like we're picking up on the subtle reflections in the mirror of life, noticing things that we might have missed before. But here's the catch: many of us have been taught to ignore our intuition, to trust only what we can see and touch. So when our intuition starts getting stronger, it can feel confusing or even scary. We might doubt ourselves or brush off these feelings as silly. The key is to start small. Begin by paying attention to your hunches in low-stakes situations. For example, before you check your phone, guess who the next person to text you will be. Or before you open your email, take a moment to sense what kind of messages you'll find. Here's a simple exercise to strengthen your intuition. Each night before bed, ask yourself a question about the next day. It could be something like, what will be the highlight of my day tomorrow? Or what challenge might I face? Then, when you wake up, write down any impressions or feelings you have before you start your day. At the end of the day, look back and see how accurate your intuition was. As you practice tuning into your intuition, you're not just developing a useful skill. You're deepening your connection with your true self. You're learning to trust the wisdom within you, and this trust will reflect back to you in the form of better decisions, stronger relationships, and a greater sense of purpose. Remember, your intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And as it grows stronger, you'll find yourself naturally making choices that align more closely with your authentic self, creating positive changes in your life almost effortlessly. Have you been feeling a strong urge to be yourself lately? Maybe you're tired of putting on a mask for others, or you're feeling a pull to express parts of yourself that you've kept hidden. This desire for authenticity is a powerful sign that you're ready for change, and it's deeply connected to the mirror principle. In our society, we often learn to show only certain parts of ourselves to the world. We might hide our quirks, downplay our passions, or pretend to be interested in things just to fit in. But when we do this, we're not just hiding from others, we're hiding from ourselves. And according to the mirror principle, this means we're creating a world that doesn't truly reflect who we are. Think about it. If you're constantly pretending to be someone you're not, the world will respond to that false image. You might find yourself in situations that don't really suit you, surrounded by people who don't really get you. It's like you're living someone else's life. But when you start to feel that pull towards authenticity, it's a sign that you're ready to break free from these old patterns. You're ready to show the world your true colors, and in doing so, to create a life that truly reflects your authentic self. Here's the thing, though, being authentic isn't always easy. It can feel vulnerable, even scary. You might worry about what others will think, or fear that you'll be rejected if you show your true self. But remember, the people and opportunities that are truly right for you will be drawn to your authentic self. Try this exercise. Take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, write down aspects of yourself that you freely show to the world. On the other side, write down parts of yourself that you tend to hide or downplay. Look at that second list. These are the areas where you have the opportunity to be more authentic. Now, choose one item from that second list, something small and manageable. It could be a hobby you're passionate about but don't often talk about, or a quirky habit you usually hide. For the next week, make a conscious effort to express this part of yourself more openly. Notice how it feels and how others respond. As you practice being more authentic, you'll likely start to notice changes in your outer world. You might find yourself attracting people who appreciate the real you, or discovering opportunities that align more closely with your true interests and values. This is the mirror principle in action. As you show more of your true self to the world starts to reflect that truth back to you. Remember, becoming more authentic isn't about dramatically changing who you are. It's about peeling away the layers of who you're not, to reveal the amazing person you've been all along. It's about aligning your outer expression with your inner truth, and in doing so, creating a life that truly feels like your own. As we move into our final sign, keep in mind that all of these signs are interconnected. They're all different ways of saying the same thing, that you're ready to step into a truer, more aligned version of yourself. And as you do, you'll find that the world around you begins to change in beautiful and unexpected ways. Sign 4. Heightened intuition. Have you ever had a gut feeling that turned out to be spot on? Or a sudden insight that seemed to come out of nowhere? If you're experiencing more of these moments lately, it's a clear sign that you're ready for a big change. This heightened intuition is like your inner GPS, trying to guide you towards your true path. In the context of the mirror principle, this increased intuition is a reflection of your inner wisdom becoming stronger. It's like the mirror of reality is starting to show you glimpses of your higher self, the version of you that's aligned with your true purpose. But here's the thing about intuition. It often doesn't make logical sense at first. It might tell you to take a chance that seems risky, or to let go of something you thought you wanted. This is where many people get stuck. They feel the intuitive pull, but their logical mind resists, creating inner conflict. The key is to start trusting these intuitive hits, even if they don't make sense right away. It's like tuning into a radio station. At first, you might only catch bits and pieces, but the more you listen, the clearer the signal becomes. Here's a practical way to strengthen your intuition. Start a daily intuition practice. Each morning, take a few quiet moments to ask yourself, what do I need to know today? Then, listen. Don't try to force an answer, just be open to whatever comes. It might be a feeling, an image, or a word. Write it down, even if it doesn't make sense. As you go through your day, pay attention to how this intuitive message plays out. You might be surprised at how often these seemingly random insights turn out to be relevant. Remember, your intuition is a reflection of your highest self. By learning to trust it, you're aligning your actions with your true purpose. And according to the mirror principle, as you do this, you'll start to see more opportunities and synchronicities in your outer world that support your growth and transformation. If you've been feeling a strong pull towards spending more time alone lately, don't worry, you're not becoming antisocial. This desire for solitude is often a sign that you're ready for deep inner work and transformation. In our busy, connected world, we're constantly bombarded with external stimuli and others' opinions. While connection is important, too much of it can drown out our own inner voice. This craving for solitude is your inner self asking for space to reflect, process, and grow. The mirror principle comes into play here in an interesting way. If you're constantly surrounded by others, always seeking external validation or distraction, what does that reflect about your relationship with yourself? It might suggest a discomfort with your own company, or a habit of looking outside yourself for answers. By honoring this need for solitude, you're changing that dynamic. You're telling yourself and the universe that you value your own company, that you trust your own counsel. And as you do this, you might notice the quality of your relationships changing. Paradoxically, taking time for yourself can lead to deeper, more authentic connections with others. Here's a practice to help you make the most of your solitude. Create a daily, silent time for yourself. It doesn't have to be long. Even 15 minutes can make a difference. During this time, turn off all distractions. No phone, no TV, no books. Just be with yourself. You might meditate, journal, or simply sit quietly. At first, this might feel uncomfortable. You might feel restless or bored. That's okay. It's just your mind adjusting to the lack of external stimuli. Stick with it. Over time, you'll likely find that this quiet time becomes a valuable part of your day, a time for insights and self-discovery. Remember, solitude isn't about isolating yourself. It's about creating space for your inner voice to be heard. And as that voice grows stronger, you'll find yourself better equipped to navigate the changes and challenges in your life. If you've started to question beliefs you've held for a long time, about yourself, about life, about what's possible, congratulations. This is a huge sign that you're ready for transformation. It's like you're taking a good, hard look in the mirror and realizing that some of the things you thought were true might not be serving you anymore. This questioning of beliefs is a crucial part of the mirror principle. Remember, what we see reflected in our lives is based on our deepest beliefs and expectations. So if we want to change our reality, we need to be willing to examine and update those beliefs. For example, Maybe you've always believed that success requires struggle and sacrifice. This belief might have led you to take on more than you can handle, or to stay in situations that drain you. But what if success could come from joy and ease? Just considering this possibility opens up new avenues in your life. Now, questioning your beliefs can be uncomfortable. These beliefs have been with you for a long time, shaping your decisions and your view of the world. Letting them go can feel like losing a part of yourself. But remember, you're not losing anything. You're making room for new, more empowering beliefs. Here's an exercise to help you work with this. Make a list of 5 beliefs you have about life, success, relationships, or yourself. Now, for each belief, ask yourself, is this really true? Where did I learn this? How has this belief served me? How has it limited me? If this belief wasn't true, what would be possible? As you do this, be gentle with yourself. The goal isn't to judge your beliefs, but to examine them with curiosity. You might find that some beliefs still ring true for you, while others no longer fit. That's perfect. You're not trying to change everything, just to ensure that your beliefs align with who you are now and who you want to become. As you start to shift your beliefs, you might notice changes in your external world. Opportunities that align with your new beliefs might start to appear. This is the mirror principle in action. As you change your inner landscape, your outer world shifts to match it. The final sign, and perhaps the most profound, is a growing sense that you're meant for something more. This isn't about ego or ambition. It's a deep, almost inexplicable feeling that you have a unique role to play in the world. This sense of higher purpose is like the ultimate reflection in the mirror of life. It's showing you a glimpse of your highest potential, of the person you're capable of becoming. But here's the catch. Embracing this higher purpose often requires letting go of old identities and ways of being. For example, you might feel called to start a business that helps people, but that means leaving behind the security of your current job. Or you might feel drawn to express yourself creatively, but that means facing fears of judgment or failure. This is where many people get stuck. They feel the call, but the fear of change holds them back. The mirror principle reminds us that our external reality will always align with our internal state. So if we want to step into our higher purpose, we need to start seeing ourselves as someone capable of fulfilling that purpose. We need to let go of limiting beliefs and start acting in alignment with our highest vision for ourselves. Here's a powerful exercise to help you connect with your higher purpose. Imagine yourself 5 years from now, living fully aligned with your purpose. What are you doing? How do you feel? Who are you helping? Write a letter from this future self to your current self. What advice would they give you? What would they want you to know? This exercise isn't about predicting the future. It's about tapping into your inner wisdom and allowing yourself to envision possibilities beyond your current circumstances. As you do this, pay attention to how you feel. A true sense of purpose often comes with feelings of excitement, peace, and rightness, even if it also feels challenging. Remember, embracing your higher purpose doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out right away. It's a journey, and each step you take in alignment with your purpose will reveal the next step. Trust the process and trust yourself. As we've explored these 7 signs, you might have recognized some or all of them in your own life. Maybe you've felt out of place, noticed recurring patterns, experienced intense emotions, felt your intuition strengthen, craved solitude, questioned your beliefs, or felt called to a higher purpose. If so, take a moment to appreciate the significance of this. These aren't random occurrences. They're signs that you're ready for a profound transformation. The mirror principle teaches us that our external reality is a reflection of our internal state. This means that by working on ourselves, by changing our beliefs, aligning with our intuition, embracing our uniqueness, and stepping into our higher purpose, we have the power to change our entire world. But here's the most important thing to remember. This journey of change isn't about becoming a completely different person. It's about becoming more fully yourself. It's about peeling away the layers of conditioning, fear, and limiting beliefs to reveal the amazing person you've always been underneath. As you move forward, be patient and kind with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. There will be challenges and setbacks along the way. But each step you take, each old belief you question, Each intuitive nudge you follow is bringing you closer to a life that truly reflects your highest self. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Every person who's ever made a positive change in their life has gone through this process. And as you change, you'll likely find that you inspire others to do the same. That's the beautiful thing about the mirror principle. As we change ourselves, we change the world around us. So embrace these signs of change in your life. See them not as disruptions, but as invitations. Invitations to grow, to transform, to become more fully yourself. Trust the process, trust your inner wisdom, and most of all, trust yourself. You are capable of amazing things, and the world is waiting for the unique gifts only you can bring. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the 7 signs that chosen ones must change. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. What step will you take today towards becoming the person you're meant to be? The mirror of life is waiting to reflect back the amazing reality you choose to create. So go ahead, take that step, and watch as your world transforms before your eyes.